Welcome back, you guys, to another week of Washington State history. This is your update for week 6. The end of the year is rapidly approaching, which I'm sure you guys are stoked about, and that means that it's time for us to start focusing on our final project. This week, I'm going to introduce that to you and hopefully get you guys started on it. Before we do, Mrs. Burns and I just have to say that we are so impressed with how well you guys did on the Chief Joseph quiz. As members of this community, which in many ways is part of Chief Joseph's legacy, it is great to see you guys learning so much about Native American history and keeping Chief Joseph's legacy alive. So, on a similar note, from now until the end of the school year, we're going to take a look at something that's very close to home. Let's check it out. From now until the end of the school year, we're going to take a closer look at a piece of history that we have all seen countless times, but probably never thought too much about: the Grand Coulee Dam. Junior high students all over Washington learn about it, but only us Raiders are in a position to become historical experts. As always, there are multiple sides to every story. Some people argue that building the Grand Coulee Dam was a positive thing for Washington. Others disagree, arguing that it had a negative impact. So, the Grand Coulee Dam. We probably take this thing for granted. I mean, I see it outside of my window from my classroom every day. You probably drive by it when you're heading home or going to the store. But there really is so much history behind it. It is a monument of the modern age. Besides just being massive and a huge achievement from an engineering perspective, it's also symbolic. It symbolizes progress and modernization for some people. To others, it symbolizes humans dominating and controlling the natural world. And anytime there's controversy, it means that there's good history to be learned. Start this assignment by brainstorming some potential benefits, or pros, and drawbacks, or cons, of building the Grand Coulee Dam. A later assignment will ask you to argue your own position on this issue, so practice being thoughtful, detailed, and organized in your response. Just to be clear, there's no source, there's no experts. This is basically your brainstorm, stuff that comes to mind when you think about the Grand Coulee Dam, what might be a pro or what might be a con. Your final task is to create 3 interview questions that you might ask someone who is knowledgeable about the history of the dam. This is a super important part of the assignment, so please don't overlook it. The example question that I came up with was something like, how does the Grand Coulee Dam affect fish? Because dams are built on the river, that's something that I'm curious about. These should be questions that will help you decide what side of this debate you yourself find yourself on. Follow these steps to complete this assignment. Number 1, watch Washington State History Week 6 Update on YouTube. Number 2, open the Google Doc below titled Pros and Cons of the Grand Coulee Dam. This will be your actual assignment and where you will do most of your work. Number 3, use the chart to brainstorm 3 potential benefits and drawbacks of the dam. Number 4, create 3 interview questions to ask an expert or historian about this topic. So in the coming weeks, we will have some of these experts available to talk to, and I'm going to be asking them your questions that you create. Number 5, submit your work by clicking the Turn In button at the top of your Google Doc. One last thing, as you know, Mrs. Burns and I have been pretty chill about accepting late work. This week is one of those weeks, though, that I really would like you guys to get your stuff in, get your questions for that interview done by Friday. That's it for this week's update. As always, hope you guys are doing awesome and getting in the mindset for that final push towards the end of the year. Peace.